Welcome again. Welcome to the Reggaecy, where we endeavor to preserve the legacy of reggae and dancehall music by discussing important topics as it relates to the reggae and dancehall culture. My name is Randy. I have my compatriot Oliver up on the next side.
Come on, people. Welcome again. Big up yourself, Randy. Back at it one more time. Welcome to the repeating viewers. New viewers, feel free to subscribe, like, comment. Everybody jump in, share and a comment. We like to get feedbacks, no matter how small or how invaluable you might feel your comments are. Just comment because we like them. Because we feel like this is necessary and needed in the dancehall space, right?
Definitely. And if you want to throw in a little gig, if you want to throw in a little gig, Lara laughing at it too, anything.
Yeah. We're going to feel comfortable with people, but yeah, man, share the platform. We are doing our thing. No competition here. Just trying to speak on the culture, at least from our perspective and how we see things.
Yeah, and like I'm saying, I'm open for the comic relief. So that being said, this is not a joke. This week, this topic that we choose, actually, we've been seeing some things floating around on different social platforms, whether it be in written form or people just commenting. Even some of our own viewers have commented that dancehall is on life support. Do you agree? How do you feel about that? Just for that again, is dancehall music important to you? And what do you feel, if anything is lacking and can be improved? Anything supporting just that? Do you feel that dancehall is on life support? Firstly, I'm going to leave that to Oliver.
I want to respond to one of the questions. Dancehall is very important to me. Both of us, but speaking for myself right now, we're born in the culture. The first music I was actually exposed to. I love both dancehall and reggae. But I remember my uncle playing Bob Marley and reggae songs when I was in high school. And I actually had no interest in that at the time. Silly was I. I was more interested in hearing the faster paced dancehall music.
Correct.
Like some other artists like some Terra Fabulous, Sprague Benz, the legendary Buju Banton. These people and sound system blasting in my neighborhood. Even at night, as much as it kept me awake, it was soothing despite the fact that it might have been irritating to other ears.
Yeah.
As for me, that brings some comfort, or it was my way of rocking out, so to speak, in my bed. It actually made me feel comfortable because I felt like this is what it is about. The people in my neighborhood enjoying themselves.
Definitely.
I'm sure the grown-ups might not have liked that, but that's just my little soliloquy on dancehall and how I feel about it personally. Is it on life of support? I mean, this is a lot of parts to that, but it depends on what you're looking at and what numbers you're looking at and in which forum. I don't want to be straying away and make it seem like I'm not picking a side or answering the question. But I guess it depends on what you're looking at. If you're looking at traditional sales, which all music are struggling, but we are definitely struggling. Billboard chart, I've seen articles in the past, in years now, saying, is there a need for a dancehall or reggae chart in the billboards? To me, actually, I get sometimes even artists, showing their accomplishment by having a number one record or number one album on the billboard. But what does that really mean nowadays when you have artists putting out major projects and we can't even sell 2,000 copies, streaming and physical combined? I think it's been a long time since a dancehall artist outside of the very established artists like a Shaggy or Sean Paul can sell outside of 2,000. Even some legends who I don't want to go into names right now, because I don't want to make this seem as if it's a show about picking on particular individuals.
Yeah.
It's more about the culture and you can say from that aspect, we're definitely struggling. And I'll say one thing because I want to switch up and have you jump in the conversation as well.
Yeah.
We still believe you can argue that Shaggy and Sean Paul, artists of those caliber, are still the fan favorites overall internationally.
Yeah.
They're still the ones holding at the highest peak when it comes to sales, right? When you go and check out the highest chart in dancehall or reggae songs each week, Bob Marley is still there.
Okay.
On Bob Marley, that's a knock on the new artists. Why can't you're definitely on life support as a music. It would seem from music and sales standpoint, if Bob Marley, who has not been with us for a long time, God rest his soul, is still at the top of the chart. Shaggy's records from in the 90s are still on the charts. So it does seem like there's life support. But Randy,
yeah,
what's your view?
So my view is, you shared how you came into loving the music and loving dancehall as opposed to maybe the slower pace reggae or whatever it was at the time, maybe rocksteady or ska music or whatever the case may be. So for me, dancehall, my first love. My father had a big sound system in Kingston 8 area. For those who didn't know. Dancehall to me, if you wanna, so if we say it on life support, what are we gonna compare it to say it's on life support? In my opinion, outside of maybe when Shabba Ranks broke through,
okay,
right, Super Cat broke through. If we're gonna look at those numbers, which I don't have in front of me, right?
Well, we know Shabba went gold, so we can look at it from those numbers.
But over a period of time, though.
I think the X-rated album, no man, when he won the Grammys, those were going gold. He was a gold-selling artist.
But hold on there. First, so not for the people that I look on first week sales and second week sales or first month sales.
Well, because dancehall and reggae, yes, has never been a first week sales type of music. Even Sean Paul albums that went home 6 times or more platinum.
Yeah.
Shaggy, they weren't big first week sales. Yes, it's never been that type of music. Even the great Bob Marley.
Exactly. So my point then is, so we're in a system of judging our music that we, over the years, haven't quite adapted to, right? We haven't, for whatever reason, blame it on us in the industry, blame it on the local acts we feel satisfied with the effort they're putting out locally,
okay,
and feel like, yeah, that is it. But in my opinion, it being on life support is a different question from whether you like the music that is being put out now and the music that is being put out in the past. And I feel like majority of the people that say it's on life support are saying that because they enjoyed quote unquote 90s dancehall, maybe early 2000s dancehall more than what we're hearing now. They enjoy the sound, the sonics of the 90s, the early 2000s more than what we're hearing now. If I'm incorrect, would I like people on the panel, people that pay to support us and listen to us, tell me if I'm wrong.
I mean, for me, saying I love 90s, but there have been evidence here, it's on record showing that I'm a fan of some of the trap music now. I'm a big proponent of not fighting against the new artists, but giving them support. But
right.
That's a whole nother topic. But my reason for thinking it's on life support is not that. I enjoy the music still. I just think there are other aspects of it that's not working.
All right.
Because,
so make we go into that then.
So in anything you're doing, right? And in your media, marketing, or entertainment, the key is to get as many people as possible supporting whatever product it is that you're delivering, right?
Definitely.
We are struggling there, and I don't want to repeat what I said before, but how often do we have new acts charting? Well, I didn't want to do this, but I feel like I have to mention names. We have artists dropping albums, Alkaline, other artists, even the great Buju Banton, they did not sell. And Buju is a different story. I get that. He's a catalog artist. I do get that, people. So don't criticize me for being ignorant. That's not what I'm saying.
I think even Skilly Bang, a new artist, recently put out something new recently, and
it's
more than
sales,
more than mediocre.
But they're promising things, so I'm gonna touch on that so that we don't use the entire segment to speak on only the negatives. I see some light and positives, right?
Yeah.
When you come on the digital era, I think that opens a market to us that we didn't have before. So digitally, even on TikTok is coming more popular, and there's some forms of monetizing from TikTok as well.
Yeah.
And Dancehall, for whatever reason, is doing well in the TikTok circuit because the type of music, fast-paced dancing, is what TikTok is mostly about. Our music is pretty much built for that forum or space. So there's always technology improving and things that will help us. So now when it comes to streaming, we're doing some numbers. Hard to say on YouTube sometime whether people are buying these numbers or not. But we have artists that are getting a lot of views, even comparing to hip-hop artists. The problem is the money is not as much on the digital side as in the
record sales. Yeah.
The good thing is at least the video will stay there in perpetuity forever.
Yeah.
So your papers and documents and contracts are right. 50 years up the line, 30 years up the line, whatever, your kids, your estate, there will still be money coming from that, right? So that's the good thing. The money never stops. While when you buy a physical copy, that's it. We're in a space where now everyone streams. So that benefits us. Before we were not big purchasers of physical CDs, for example.
Yeah.
We bought the bootleg version, right?
Right. So just to interject on what you say, because I can definitely agree to say that streaming is less of a commitment to a particular artist or genre or song or whatever the case may be, than going out there and buying an album. The reason why I dislike buying albums is I felt like a lot of the times, there were a few times where I felt like I got my money's worth, and many other times where I felt like, I just spent, as minuscule as you might want to look at it as, I just spent, say for instance, between $10, $15, maybe some album they go up to $20 at the time. And I only got maybe like 1 or 2 tracks off it that was substantial, or maybe you would have called it at the time, maybe between 12 to sometimes 20 tracks. You understand? So that left a bad taste in many of us mouth as far as supporting the music. Me no want buy this, and then me never did get the quality. See? So again, if you're gonna say it upon live support, then we can speak on facts like the quality overall as maybe we can say it as not necessarily improved to the level where it's marketable to international market.
Correct. And that's the key. And
right.
You hit it right there, Randy. That's why we're struggling, and that's where I wanted us to go next. The why. I think that's part of it. We're not appealing to an international market. There's a playbook, and we've discussed it before, but there are other artists that have given us somewhat of a playbook.
Yeah.
Shaggy. I keep mentioning the same names.
It's
true. Sean Paul.
Yeah.
Even the ones that got us a run, like a Sham.
Yeah.
Struggle. I'm sure if you sit and speak to them, they can tell you what they were doing at that time that worked.
Yeah.
It's having a team, having a label or something behind you to push the product and actually working on records. the people them expect a certain things from dancehall internationally, and that's what we need to try and sell to them. But we get caught up selling something else. I read an article just this weekend that part of the problem is we're maybe not making hooks that are catchy.
Okay.
Are missing.
I agree with that. I agree with that as well. We're not, and it still go back to the same kind of quality we're gonna appeal internationally. Because for one, if you're not telling relatable stories where people are gonna latch on to, people want to hear things that they're familiar with for latch on.
Right.
You know what I mean? Another part of it is collaborations and marketing and promotions, which we've been saying these things.
Yes.
It's not nothing new, but what the collaboration and them thing that would have helped with is some of that clarity. It's like a blending of international acts with local acts to introduce them to the international market. And also by simplifying maybe the lyrics, you get people to, if you're a good punchline artist, you get people to say, yo, I like that artist. They might like a popcorn because I'm punchlines. And the simplicity, well, when you have the hardcore people them from the local market and Jamaica say, boy, popcorn watered down now, but it's for a reason.
It's for a reason because the local market is not buying the records. So it's obvious that we've birthed other genres, right?
Yes.
More notably recently, you can say reggaeton.
Okay.
Is a huge influence in even Afrobeats.
Yes.
Both those genres right now are ahead of us and taking up a big amount of the market share of the music income.
Maybe.
Why are we not involved in that?
Me ask you that question there, which maybe is a general question, not for you to answer because maybe we cannot answer it.
Mm-hmm.
The people that support reggaeton and support Afrobeats, that's on our platform are listening to us right now. Can you tell us why you would prefer to purchase an Afrobeat song or a reggaeton song over accessing a reggae or a dancehall track? I would like to know that question. That's a huge question.
If you look, I think the music is more catchy right now. The reggaeton records.
Okay.
More catchy. Because when you hear them, it triggers something to dance, right? And dancehall is dancehall. The music is supposed to make you dance. And like I said, I'm a fan of the trap music, but if overwhelmingly that's what it is. And even when you get kind of a 90s sound, it's not, and I'm not saying you have to do the 90s sound. These records are not really making you dance anymore or even get you in that mood, right? The beat, it's very low. There's no bass. Reggaeton is using the same beat over and over. Dembow, 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 dembow.
Yeah.
To this day. And Shaggy mentioned this the other day in the Breakfast Club. So they're not changing it, right? And it's making billions.
Right.
And we've changed it. And I get it. We have to try to advance and test and try new things. I also think they're more packaged and professional than we are. And people might not want to hear that, but these artists have no problem leaving where they are and maybe situated in America and try to build.
Right.
You have to put in the work and network. You have to do this.
So part of all of that, it boils down to who the stakeholders are. It boils down to if the artists them have proper management.
Right.
It boils down to is the artist professional enough for the investors that want to invest in their careers. Some of the investors are the managers them too, the people them choose to manage the artists them. If, for instance, if I keep getting burnt by local dancehall reggae acts, I mean that I gonna leave a bad taste again. Sorry for using the same thing, and me go choose for move to more professional people, work with more professional people, work with people who are more packaged and easier to work with. Why go against the grain? Yes, it's a bad artist and we love what them do, but why? With at the end of the day again, there is no loyalty because we spoke about this recently as well. Artists coming up with a management team, right? And as soon as them break big, it's like them bad the relationships are with their management. They not give them management no credit.
Correct. Then them gone or them lack the professionalism to negotiate and go in meetings. And a lot of times what they don't realize where they're losing is they'll say, oh, I don't want a manager. I don't want to pay for that. I don't want to pay for that. Okay. Atlantic Records, big companies like that, Warner Brothers, do not want to speak to the artist a lot of time first.
Yeah.
Especially an artist from another country.
Definitely.
Speak with your agent first.
Yeah.
Whether that's your manager or an attorney or someone like that. Because they know that sometimes it gets nowhere with the artist. And these artists don't understand that and they expect to speak to these higher ups and they're not interested. They're like, I don't want to talk to you because I want to make sure that this is business, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is a topic that we can talk about every day, every week. We talk about this in the barber shop on the corner, but we need to talk about it some more and put some more comments.
There's one other thing where we never touch upon, and this will probably be the final thing where we want to touch upon before we go. Because when like somebody, there's many parts to it, a lot, right? Because for one, again, sometimes with the artists, them feel dissatisfied with what them I get, but them feel like I them do all of the work. But we're not gonna go into that, because if you've seen recently, majority of the artists them kind of do stuff themselves. Them have their own studio. It's like them want to keep everything in-house. Them want to make all of them money that way. But, that has a limit, right? Again, and that me did want to segue to. Me did want to segue to the fact, what about the immigration side? Because I feel like a lot of the artists, them, because them not traveled, them not experience different markets, being around different cultures and things, these things kind of limit them. Right. That contribute to the lack of the professionalism. And when we say the immigration side, also, let's be clear about this. When the immigration situation happened a few years back with some of our notable artists like Bounty Killer, Beanie Man, maybe Mavado, Idonia.
At the time, Mavado, yes, I do.
Right. And
a few, but I think that was the big artists that lost.
Right. That significantly affected everything in the dancehall space. Some people, because people are them only for what them see, them not realize it. There are more stakeholders, people that these things affect in the dancehall space. Like it affect not just those artists that we mentioned, it affect the party promoters. It affect the concert promoters. It affect the vendors who support these kind of events. It and it does trickle down. It affect people, hairdressers. It affects stylists. It affect barbers. It affect you name it. People that make material and products surrounding
this entire business of dancehall.
So that. I think people did not acknowledge that had a significant impact itself on reggae and dancehall music, which at the time seemed like sky was the limit because it was really growing and it was catching on rapidly at the time. And for instance, we
can't save it, but also Vibes did lose his visa, but in addition, he's in jail.
Yeah.
Ninja Man was not out there anymore, but he's also in jail. But we've had a situation, a back and forth as well. If it's not immigration, it's legal issues, period.
Exactly.
Affecting our dancehall artists, whether it's Lexus as well losing his visa.
So I'm going to ask you again, do you believe, because it seems to me that dancehall artists are being targeted. by some established folks in the music business.
Well, we know they're targeted by certain communities, right? Because of certain lyrics, right? In the past, they've been under heavy scrutiny from the homosexual community. We know this.
Yeah.
But that's not the only one. We spoke about this before, and we can share it here with everyone on the bigger platform so everyone else can hear and make their comments. When the situation with the visa cancellation, right, came as a result of the negotiation for the extradition of Dodos.
Right, Christopher Dodos.
Right, the drug lord. America was trying to negotiate with our prime minister at the time, then Bruce Golding, to extradite him to the US to face charges.
Yeah.
Bruce was unwilling to agree to some of these negotiations. So what does a country do like America when they want to penalize you or punish you?
Yeah.
They cut off your resources, right? And isn't it, that should tell our country something, how highly they value our music, right?
Quite so.
The product that we, I guess, give to the world, then, so to speak. And this is what they targeted, as this is our export that has the biggest value. So here what? We're going to clip your major artists' wing. At the time, those were the biggest artists at that time, right?
Definitely, yes.
Startel, Movado, Beanie Man, right?
Yeah. Even Idonia it affect, because
Idonia was coming up at that time.
Shooting star at the time. Not that he's not shooting still, but
Buju was in jail. So that was dancehall for you right then and there.
Yeah.
Yes, you had some others like Sasko. I know knock against Sasko or Spraga, but at one point they were also kind of laid back and not putting so much music out. And if of culture is on life support, one or two artists cannot rescue it. It needs more than that.
But our point, it seems, based off of exactly what you just said, is we were making strides to, and our wings got clipped, our feet got clipped, it's like with arm string, I will pull up, you know?
It makes me wonder, was that the real reason, or they just used that as an excuse to clip the music wing? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because doesn't it seem a little far-fetched that to attack a country or punish a country, an entire country, you chose to pick out the music? Not saying it's not powerful.
Yeah.
But it just seems odd, like that is what they gravitated to. They could have put other things in place, like, I don't know, exports or prevent certain trading with us.
Or maybe certain sanctions.
The usual that they would do with any other country.
Well, I guess the easiest thing for them to have done at the time was attack our number one industry, which is entertainment. And to this day, again, I don't think our local government official realize how powerful our entertainment and music industry is.
Well, now they say they do. Don't know if it's girl, as we Jamaican would have said back in the days, are a real talk. If there's truth to this, this is just, smoke screen, just for, quiet down all the disapprovals they've been hearing from the people.
So people, we're gonna move on to something else.
I love this topic, yo. So people, yo, we might revisit a part 2. Who knows? Like it.
Yeah, because it is a whole heap of moving parts to this, and just to note again, I want you guys to think about and answer the question which has been floating around: is dancehall on life support? Do you agree? And if you agree, we want to know why. If you disagree, we also want to know why.
And if you, right. For the people who say it's not on life support, I would want to hear those reasons as well. Because I think it's two ways, like I said. I don't think it's completely that it depends, I think, on what sector of it you're looking at. But anyway, I love the topic, as I said before, people.